pain relief. Floating stimulates the release of endorphins, contributing to healing and pain relief.
I've always floated for spiritual reasons, but the health benefits associated with floating are truly off the charts. The most amazing of these health benefits are pain relief and healing. In Phoenix, Arizona, 17 former manual laborers with disabling injuries and chronic pain were given 60 hours of therapy in flotation tanks. After the floating, 14 of them were able to return to work, many for the first time in years, with total remission of pain and recoveries the men's employers called on the order of miraculous. Psychophysiologist Harold John, PhD of Wellness Research Associates, says that a follow-up after 2 years confirms their remission. There are countless stories like this one. John C. Lilly himself wrote, "When I broke several bones in a bicycle accident, I went for 5 days without sleep before finally resorting to the tank in desperation. There I was free from the pain, without drugs, for the first time since the accident. This is because the tank frees up all the pain due to gravity." Neuroscientists and doctors who have done tank research have no doubts that floating has remarkable and long-lasting healing effects. But the question is why? One reason is because floating in zero gravity reduces stress in the body, which contributes to pain relief and healing. Another reason is that there are biochemicals that are produced from the brain called beta endorphins that are released in situations of comfort as well as pain. As mentioned earlier, endorphins are pain-killing, euphoria-creating substances known as the body's own opiates. Endorphins are many times more powerful than morphine and remain active in the body for hours. The deep relaxation achieved from floating causes the brain to pour out large drops of endorphins into the body system. Once in the system, these healing biochemicals travel to injured areas in the body. It's like dry docking a boat. You pull a boat out of the water, and while it's on shore, you work fast and hard to make repairs before it has to go back into the water. We do this in reverse in the tank. We leave our normal gravitational field on land and go into zero gravity in water. While floating, the endorphins get busy and make repairs on our body.
Athletic performance. Floating promotes deep muscle relaxation, speeds recovery, and aids athletic performance.
Flotation tanks are actually used a lot in Australia. The Australian Olympic team has used them for years. They always do well in the Olympic Games. Scientists have found that floating dramatically decreases muscular tension after as little as 35 minutes in the tank, and that this reduction in tension lasts for weeks. As a result of this, floating helps athletes to learn how to be in tune with their bodies and to avoid injuries by pinpointing areas of stress or imbalance before they become actual injuries. The most immediate result of physical exercise is the buildup of lactic acid, a toxic byproduct of glucose metabolism. Lactic acid is a result of muscular activity of such intensity that it causes the muscles to demand more oxygen than the body can supply. This acid causes pain, fatigue, soreness, and cramping, which can last for days. Floating reduces the body's need to produce lactic acid and rapidly clears it from the body for up to 2 weeks after a float. Relaxation is just as important as exercise to achieve the best results. High-intensity training stimulates muscles to grow, but the muscles actually grow when the body is resting. Virtually all muscle growth and strengthening takes place during rest. The float tank speeds up recovery time, eliminates lactic acid and other fatigue-producing toxins, increases oxygen and other nutrients in the body, builds muscle, and brings about total relaxation. For athletes looking for a strong edge to their training, this is it. After the exhilaration of competition comes the fatigue, pain, and depression of post-game letdown. It's been found that a single float session can get rid of depression and fatigue completely due to the release in your body of pleasure-creating neurochemical narcotics and the elimination of depression-linked chemicals, along with the deep relaxation found in the tank. The tank takes us into that mental physical state which is most conducive to peak play, thereby transcending ourselves. Through the tank, we develop our powers of relaxed concentration, calm alertness, and effortless doing.
Habits and addiction. Floating helps eliminate the biochemical and emotional roots of addictive behavior.
When Yoko Ono realized that she was pregnant, she told her husband, John Lennon, that they would have to stop using cocaine. In order to kick their habit, they used a flotation tank. The tank is a powerful tool for overcoming addictions by bringing about rapid changes in human biochemistry. Drugs deplete the brain of endorphins by flooding its natural opiate receptors so that they shrink and diminish in number. So when the artificial source of pleasure is taken away, meaning the drugs, our own natural ability to create pleasure is gone. This is why withdrawal from certain drugs is so painful. But the flotation tank produces large amounts of endorphins and repairs the brain's receptor sites. Floating also reduces such anxiety-related biochemicals like norepinephrine, which is released in great quantities during withdrawal. The bottom line is that floating greatly alleviates the depression and anxiety associated with withdrawal from drugs and alcohol. Many addicts find it difficult to keep from returning to their habit after successfully kicking it. This is because they find their lives lacking in pleasure as a result of their diminished ability to create endorphins. Nothing is fun anymore because they have no way to experience fun. By increasing endorphins, floating enables them to experience pleasure, often for the first time in years, and stay away from their previous addiction.
Fear and phobias. Floating aids in releasing fears and phobias through deep relaxation.
The flotation tank has been found to be a very effective tool for desensitizing and getting rid of fear and phobias. By inducing utter relaxation, it lets the floater easily and quickly overcome the tension associated with their phobia. By increasing the power of visualization, it helps the floater imagine their phobic situation more clearly and realistically, without the emotional charge encountered outside the tank. The floater can easily imagine him or herself acting fearlessly and in control. By eliminating all distractions, the floater can focus specifically on confronting and overcoming their fears. Fear is like a ghost. You never know when it's going to pop up and scare you. But in the tank, you can catch the ghost, and the more you expose it to the light, the less power it has over you. Before you know it, it's gone to find someone else to bother.